All right, let's have a look at how teams are basically doing. Their amount of goals is less than it was last year if you look at the first 4-5 games of the league. And of course that's logic because also the preseason is more difficult, so teams still need to get into their rhythm. But let's have a look at how teams do create their chances or what maybe are options to do so when you make a build up from the back. Of course there are different styles, direct, long play, but I like to look more at how a team actually dominates and try to create chances and which mistakes there are made. Let's have a look at the example number one, Goa against Bengaluru, where the first thing that you always need to recognize is that when a team is positioned, I remember that Bengaluru was playing a 3-4-3, very compact, but if it's dense here, if there's no space, the first thing of course you need to do is to take it out and try to look to the other side. They were not right away changing, they were still making some small passes. It went from the keeper back to here, but eventually it's about that you change side and you penetrate. In this case, let me say it like this, not many teams are using their center backs to get into the midfield. Many teams just give the ball to the midfielder and let him do his thing. If you want, you lose basically two players. So Goa made a good improvement here. This is a good example where you say you change side, the center back penetrates, he tried to get into this zone because you create an extra player into the midfield. That happened here, but it's now about details. You see Bengaluru here pretty compact, but I said it before, Len Dungal, where I said he's not a winger to me, and you will see first of all that here the striker is well lined up. That means there's an opportunity for deep play. He's lined up behind the second center back. In this case Fran is his name, I think, and then you have the opportunity. No play football, you can't put the ball behind the defense line, so this is a good positioning. But somehow he decides not to play that ball because maybe he can see that Bengaluru is ready. Then we get to the second part, and this is what crucial. So you see Len Dungal here fighting with the left center back or the left wing back. In this case it's the left center back, I think, of Bengaluru, and he is basically lined up in the peripheral vision of the left center back. He sees the ball and the defender, he's fighting with him. While if he would be positioned in this area, that means more into the zone, more into the space, you have a more chance to receive the ball, not under pressure but without pressure. Important here is also that if he lines up here, that you get deep running from the right wing back here to create confusion. He's standing still here, and that's why the left center back or the left wing back, however you want to see it, intercepts the ball. So because this guy is standing still, if he takes off, if he starts running, then for sure the left wing back or left center back will step back and Len Dungal gets more time to control the ball. But at the same time, I go back again, Len Dungal is not a winger to me, he's a striker, and those small details make a difference in order to go forward. If we look at example number two, where we give exactly the same example, where is a build-up from the back, Goa here creates a good change. You see here Erebudia dropped in to kill the two strikers, and this is against Kerala, and same here, so you change side and you penetrate into this area. This is Erebudia getting the ball, but the striker or the midfielder who steps out still gets a chance to put some pressure on him. But you see here exactly that same situation where the left wing back starts going forward and the left winger came into the pocket, into the side. So that means the right wing back now here from Kerala Blasters, he is confused. Should I follow my opponent, the left winger, or should I step back because there is somebody running deep? He has the opportunity to play that deep ball, so for sure the two center backs, of the center back and the right wing back, they will have to stop this threat. They have to step back. What does that mean? It creates more space. The left wing back decides to drop off, and then in this case the left winger takes off. He makes a deep run and you get the same idea. And this creates more time for the left wing back to control the ball and have time to play a deep ball eventually. So because of this run, you will get the defense line dropping off. It creates more time. So you get the following situation where the one who run deep drops off again, and now the striker takes off. And this is all within a split second, within maybe 1, 2, maximum 3 seconds that needs to flow. And then, as I said, the left wing back, because of those runs, gets a little bit more time, and he gets a perfectly executed ball on feeling. If this ball is too strong, too hard, too soft, then all those other actions before are done for nothing. So it's all about, all they have to fall into place. This happened, and of course here the goalkeeper made a mistake, but it's all about that action, all those dynamics come together and you get a perfect attack. Then we get another example that is based on the same idea. Here is again Goa against Kerala Blasters, where the ball is collected on their own half. It gets into the midfield, where Vicente Gomez gets the ball from Rohit Kumar. And then you see a great positioning of the player behind the striker. He tried to get the ball, but he cannot right away go forward. But good pass, and then he has to get out of that pressure. Now it's crucial. This is the crucial thing. These are the elements that I speak about. He has a view. He sees somebody going for the deep run. But the moment of the deep run, the moment of the pass, they have to fall together. That has to merge. So he sees, in this case, KP, the winger, going deep. You see that in this situation. He plays the deep ball. You see the striker dropped off and the winger getting into that zone. So all this has to merge together. It was not a bad option, but yeah, it's just maybe the ball just too strong, or maybe the takeoff is too. For instance, the player who played the ball, maybe he looked a little bit too long, and then the keeper anticipated this in order to catch the ball. So this is totally not a bad action, but I want to show you that everything has to fall together at the right moment. So I gave you 3 examples of deep play from a build-up. And yeah, many teams still need to find their way. You have 2 teams here who like to play build-up, so they depend highly on this, and other teams, they don't care about it at all. They just look for deep balls or in transition moments. All right, see you.